Section 5 reviews factoring and gives you a chance to practice your factoring skills, which you will find useful next year in calculus. There are three methods we're going to go over in the first part of Section 5. And all three of these methods are based on the distributive property. The first is factoring out common factors. Whenever you're factoring, that's the first thing you should do. Always look for common factors before you look at any of the other methods. Take out any common factors. The second one we'll look at is factoring by grouping, and then factoring trinomials. We'll start with looking at the first factoring technique, and that's factoring out common factors. Here we have a binomial, 10x cubed minus 4x squared, and the first thing we want to do is find any factors they have in common. So I like to look at the number part first, 10 and 4, and think of what factors those numbers have in common, and you want to find the greatest factor on the first time around if possible. So I look at this factors of 2 and 5, 2 and 2. The factor they have in common is 2, so I'm going to write that down. That's the common factor between these two terms. And then look at the variable part, and here we have an x cubed and an x squared. They certainly have one x in common, but they have two x's in common, or x squared, because they both, this is x squared times 1, this is x squared times x. So I put the x squared down because that's also a common factor. And then we'll use parentheses, and now we'll put in the terms we need to complete this. What you want to put here is what you would need to multiply 2x squared by to get 10x cubed. So first of all, we need a 5 to get the 10 back, and then we need one more x to get your x cubed. If you multiply 2x squared by 5x, you will get 10x cubed. Then we need a minus because this term is subtracted. And here we have a 4 and a 2, so we're going to need another 2 there, x squared and x squared. You won't need any more x's, so that should do it. You can check these either by writing it down or mentally, but if I were to multiply 2x squared by, or if I were to multiply these two, this monomial and this binomial out, I should get what I started with. 2x squared, first of all, times 5x would be 10x cubed, and then minus 2x squared times 2 would be minus 4x. So that looks like it would check just fine. The next one is a variation on this method. It's similar, except you need to be aware when you see something like this, x minus 7. Notice that's in common from here, from both sides. We can treat that, even though there's a minus in there, we can treat that as a chunk or one thing. We can treat it like a number or a single variable and work with it. Since x minus 7 is common to both, I'm going to write that out here. And then I need to put down what I need to multiply by to get these terms back. The first term is 2x times x minus 7. So if I put 2x here, if I were to multiply this back out, I would get that, the 2x times the quantity x minus 7. And I'm going to need something to get this back. I need a plus 3. So if I were to multiply x minus 7 times 3, I would get that back. So this is how you would factor this. Again, it's the same method. Find a common factor. The common factor here is x minus 7. It's a little more involved than a simple 2 or x squared, but the same